Hi, this is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and as you can see, we're going to be making a spring wreath. So let's get started. We're going to be starting with a 14-inch wired wreath form, and this was from the Dollar Tree. I also got some of the Deco Mesh in these really bright colors, purples and pinks. There's a darker purple here, and there's like a darker pink. This is more like it has Easter on it, but it's still going to be used for this wreath. So I was trying to figure out how to do the Deco Mesh and how to cut it to put it into the wreath. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be attaching the Deco Mesh using some of these pipe cleaners. And then I can add in other things once I take a look at it. So we're just going to move the wreath form out for a while, just so I can show you how I'm going to cut this. And I really want to have fun with this because I know wreaths can be labor intensive sometimes. So what I'm going to do is cut this, and I just want this to roll like one time, just like that. Just that one time. And then I'm going to cut from there. So it's naturally going to roll, but maybe about here, and then that way I can squeeze it in like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut a couple of these. It's probably a good thing to cut all of your mesh ahead of time, and then if you need more, you just cut more. So I just want these all to line up a little bit here. And if you want to use a ruler to measure it, you can. If you want to line all of these up, you can. And this sticks together a lot, so that's one of the other things about Deco Mesh. So as you can see, I'm not being real perfect with my cuts, but I am going to cut out a bunch of these, but I want to show you how I'm going to attach this. Okay, and then I'll go back, just to save us some time, I'm going to go back and cut all of it together. But for right now, because I want to show you how I'm going to attach this to the wreath, I'm going to cut enough for one section of the wreath. This should be really pretty, nice and bright spring colors. The nice thing about this is that it just kind of rolls up itself, so you don't have to do much work to get those to work for you on your wreath. And if I had a longer workspace, I would probably just spread all of these out together and cut them together. But that's okay. Sometimes you have to work with what you have. Okay, so let me get a few of those. I'll go back and cut out more. What we're going to do is we're going to use the pipe cleaners. And for me, the easiest way to do this is to use the two inner rings and attach the pipe cleaners. I'm going to be working in sections. So I'm going to do this section, and I'll do this section here. So I'm using these to gauge how I'm going to put this wreath together. So I've got one, and I'm just putting it through the two inner rings. And there's so many techniques for doing this. I'm just giving it a few twists. I've got some white ones in here too. Maybe I'll alternate. I'm just pulling it together and twisting it so it stays on there. Because this is the part we're going to be working with. This inner part right here is where we're going to put our mesh. You're really not going to be able to see these pipe cleaners once we're done attaching the mesh. I'm just giving it 2 twists. And of course my dog is in here with me, so he may end up barking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start with 5 in this particular section. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so once you have those on there securely, it's okay if they shift because we're going to be filling it in to the point where it's going to be real tight and compacted once we add our deco mesh. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to take your mesh, and let me just move this off to the side just for a moment so you can see what we're going to do with this. Just going to take different colors and I'm just going to roll it and pinch. Get some of that dark pink in there. And if you want to double up, you can, depending on how much you have. Roll it and pinch. Simple. Then let's get some purple. And you don't have to do it like this. If you want to mix up different colors, have fun with it. Roll it and pinch, right? Now we're going to attach it to the wreath. And so right here where you have your pipe cleaner, you're just going to take it and place it this way, cross way, because you want to make sure that the wire is not showing. So you don't want to do it this way. You want to make sure that it's lined up this way. And I'm just going to give it 1 and 2 twists for now. Now, if you want to add ribbon later on, you can untwist it, add in your ribbon. That's if you decide to. So I like to be further along in my wreath and see what else it needs and then just add it in as I go. Okay, so let's do another one. Just going to roll it. Grab another one. And you see why it's better to just go ahead and cut all of your deco mesh in advance? Just because. Just like that. And then maybe grab one of the purples here. And put the purple in there just like that. And just add it in. I'm going to the next one now. Turning it this way because I want it to be the cross way here. And I want this wreath to be really full. I don't really want that wire to be showing, so I'm just pushing that right up to the corner there. And we're not going to worry about this right now because we'll go back and clean that up. Okay, let me do one more. Roll it and pinch. And these are easy to pinch. That's the nice thing about these. They're so flexible. And just like that. And just add it in again. Crossway here. And it's some of the deco is kind of unraveling, but I kind of like that look. It's got little wisps of deco just all over. And I'm not going to cut it off. I like it like that. Okay, and so I'm giving it 2 twists. And then I'm going to move it up. So you see how that's starting to come together? Let's go ahead and do another one. So it looks like I'm going to put 5 in this section. If I need to add a 6th one, I will. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some more, and I'm going to come back and show you what that completed section looks like. Okay, so here's one section that's done. And as you can see, it's pretty full. So that's really compacted in there. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I added 7 in there. Originally I went with 5, but I wanted it to be really full. And so on this side, Don't worry about the pipe cleaners, because what you can do is you're just going to take these and push them under. But I want to leave them out because I'm going to attach some ribbon to those. So I do want to leave them out. But if you need to push some of them in, the ones that you don't use, you can go ahead and do that and push them in through the other side. Just like this. Just bring it in the back, and you could just wrap them around because no one's going to see anything in the back. You can just kind of wrap it around here, those loose ends. So that way you don't have to really worry about seeing that sticking out, because you're not going to really need that. But I'm really liking the way how full this looks. So you can do it as full as you want. I'm also alternating with this darker purple. I'm putting some every few of these. I'm using the darker purple. So you can create your own pattern. So I'll probably put like maybe each section, maybe one or two, actually two bows in each section. So in order to do that, you just open up this area right here, that open area right there. You just kind of stick your ribbon in there and you'll twist it. And you notice I haven't cut it yet. Just give it a twist. And depending on how much you want it to be sticking out, I'm just going to cut it so that it has the V shape in it. Just cut that off right there. And so that's why I'm leaving that the pipe cleaner on there. And then take this one and just fold it over and just cut so that it has those tails there. And so when I'm done with that, if I'm not going to add anything else in, I just push it in through the back. Okay, so I can do one, or I'll probably just do two ribbons in there, alternating. That way I can keep track of what I'm doing. So that's how I would add the ribbon. If you want to just go ahead and add the ribbon in advance while you're doing it, you can. Or if you want to just wait until the end, you can do it that way too. And so that way you have your ribbon in, and then you can tie everything in the back to make it look neat. So that's what we've got so far. So I'm going to just keep on going. I'm just going to show you another option is to just go ahead and cut your ribbon. Just cut a whole bunch of them. And I'm not really measuring. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. You can go in and cut all of your ribbons in advance and then add them in. I'm just going to untie that a little bit. That way I have them placed evenly. And that way my wreath is nice and full. Now I'm just going to push these in the back, but I'm not going to worry about those right now, even though I'm tempted to. I'm going to go ahead and finish putting in all of these deco mesh, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, and our wreath is all done, and look how full it looks. So the key to getting a really full wreath is to make sure that you're taking each section, and I did about 6 to 7 bows per section. So when I took the deco mesh and rolled it up, I did about 6 of those for each section, and that made it really full. So if you take your time with this and just do those things, you can have a really full wreath. I ended up using 5 of the deco mesh. I ran out of a little bit of the light pink color, so I just decided to just keep going with some of the darker pink and the purple. So you might want to use 6 rolls so that you have, if you want to alternate colors and have balance, you may want to get 6 rolls, 2 of the darker pink, 2 of the lighter pink, and 2 of the purple. maybe one of the dark purple and one of the light purple, but it all depends on what you prefer. I was thinking of putting a bow on here. I'm still not sure yet. I was also thinking of adding some flowers into this too, but I don't know, it may take away from the wreath. I'm kind of liking the way it looks, but just options that you have as far as this deco mesh. It's a little bit more, to me, it's a little bit more labor intensive than when I make the bow wreath, but I really did like doing this. I probably wouldn't do it all in one sitting. I did it because I was videotaping. And then I just alternated with this ribbon right here. And at first I wasn't sure how it was going to look. But I hope you can see it on camera. I really like the way it turned out. And then one of the other things that I noticed is that if I was to fluff these up and just kind of pull them in toward the center, it gives it an even fuller effect. So that's another thing that you can do to make it really, really full and really pop, is to just pull this right in to the center from the bottom and the top. I really love this wreath, and the fact that it's all Dollar Tree materials makes it even better. So I hope this inspired you. Go ahead and make your own, mix up the colors, play with the colors, and just have fun with it. I think I am going to go ahead and add a bow to it. I'm not sure yet. I'll post pictures at the end so you can get a really good look at it. So thanks for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.